If no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the B team.
Here, should I do one collective clap?
Yeah.
Alright, turn your mics on. Start recording. 3, 2, 1. Alright, cool.
Sick.
Jamie, line that up.
You already?
Yep, let's go.
Yeah.
Welcome back to The Experience.
Yeah.
James Zdun, joined with Tim Grimm and Charlie Morton.
What's up?
Today we're going to be talking about representation in Hollywood and how, in some people's opinions, it's bad. Some people's opinions, it's okay. Does anyone have any points they'd like to start off with, except for me?
There's a better way to phrase that, but...
Definitely. I just got back from a run. I had to go pick up our...
Yeah, how was that run? Was that good?
It was annoying because I had to run past the rugby team. But,
so the people who do actual sports here, the actual athletes?
They're all looking at me and go, who the hell is that guy, you know?
Yeah. But, alright, representation in Hollywood. What about it? What's the question that we have about it?
Is representation in Hollywood, do you want to start off with bad intentions, society looking for perfection, or do you just want to start with the conqueror?
Oh, let's start with the Conqueror. That's You'll see behind us we have
John Wayne, the great John Wayne, playing Genghis Khan.
Yep.
a Mongolian.
A Mongolian in 1956.
Played by Protestant
Gigantic
Scotch-Irish
white
guy.
man.
In 1956, a movie called The Conqueror was made, and I've not researched this at all, but I guarantee you this is what happened. They were sitting down just like this. It was the director, the casting director,
MGM,
producers, everyone. They were all looking around and they were like, all right, who are we going to get to play Genghis Khan? And they're like, well, let's get a Mongolian actor. And they're like, well, there's no Mongolian actors. They're big. They're like, all right, get an Asian actor. There's no big Asian actors either. It's the 1950s. John Wayne makes money. And they're like, yep, John Wayne is going to play Genghis Khan. And he did. I haven't seen this movie. I don't know how good it is. Judging by this picture, it's probably odd. I just imagine Genghis Khan standing up and going, listen here, pilgrim, I'm gonna and that's very funny to me. But I'm not defending those producers. I'm just saying that's probably what happened. And that's why the representation was like that. Again, not defending it. It's just, that's what my...
Jacob's referring to the affinity of Genghis Khan to procreate with about everyone he interacted with. And is part of the reason why something like 40% of modern Asia is descended from Genghis Khan. And Russia.
Yeah. I just wanted to clear over that. Very, very good representation of not good representation. Obviously it takes place in the 50s, and back then it was different. But still, looking back on it, that's not Genghis Khan.
That's not Genghis Khan.
It's really not. It's more of a really gigantic, tall white man with probably an affinity for cowboy movies.
Yeah, he's got a few in his career. I actually share a birthday with this guy. My next point was representation, in my opinion nowadays, is not a big deal. It's already become, adding to it is not a big deal. Because it's already been done. I mean, there's, it's Hollywood has gone out of their way nowadays to make sure that everything is, every person is represented. You look at the Oscars, for example, all the Oscars, there's a representation percentage. You have to have a certain amount of representation in order for it to be considered. Yeah. And, have your opinion on whether or not it's a good or bad thing. But in general, that's a step forward to representation overall. And they've also gone out of their way to race swap famous movies. I mean, you take Snow White, for example. You have like Rachel Zegler's character, Rachel Zegler, Latino, and she's playing Snow White, a German girl from the 40s who her skin is white as snow.
1440s.
Something like that, yeah.
No, it's ancient Germany.
Yeah, but there's also
which I know we all love Rachel Zegler.
Hollywood,
100%.
But
love you.
But the idea that they're still complaining even after some people are still complaining after all of this. They're going out of the way to do that. I have your opinion on it. My opinion, I think representation is doing pretty well nowadays. That kind of goes into the no bad intentions. Back in the day, I don't think doing this, again, not defending it, but I don't think that the intention was to slander Mongolians or even be like, well, Mongolians can't play a good Genghis Khan, so we should get a guy who knows how to act. I don't think that's how it went. I think it was just they looked at what they had and they didn't have what they need.
I think that the producers probably looked at the character of Genghis Khan. They said, we have someone who's so monumental, so pivotal in history, such a powerful figure. And like, well, what's our modern equivalent of that? I mean, John Wayne, kind of, yeah, for different things, but horse riding? That's about it.
Yeah, Mongolians were very known for their horse riding. You know,
Equestrianism.
equestrianism is a good word for it.
Yeah, that's word. I think in terms of modern day representation, I think I can speak for all three of us and any of you guys watching in the classroom here. We're all filmmakers. We're all directors, writers. And when it comes to who appears in our films, I mean, for us, it really comes down to availability. It's like, well, what theater kid can we drag into whatever our production is going to be?
Poor theater kids.
Yeah, but it also is a matter of what stories are you choosing to tell, you know? And part of it isn't even about just like including people. It's like, well, if I want to tell a story in 14th century England, it's probably just going to be a bunch of uneducated, like, English people, you know, speaking Shakespeare or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's not coming from a place of ill intent. It's coming from a place of this is what the story requires, and this is what we want to do. I personally, one thing, I think I've told you guys this before, is I want to film. Oh God. I want to film.
Oh, for God's sakes.
A film that takes a new angle on every continent. So I really am fascinated with Antarctica, and that's really kind of what made me want to do that. But I want to film something about Africa. I want to film something about South America, about Europe, from any time period, really. That's the thing, is I want to explore, like, other historical subjects. And for that, I'm going to, again, accurately represent it. And it's not even about representation. It's just about the people who experienced it and portraying them in the way that they would want to be represented, if at all. Because, I mean, I'm sure Genghis Khan wouldn't really care that much about whatever a movie about him looked like, as long as he looked awesome.
Yeah.
John Wayne looks awesome, so.
John Wayne is awesome.
John Wayne is awesome.
Yeah.
He's got a good birthday. You mentioned no bad intentions, like I did. Like, the intention was not to slander them. My favorite example of this situation is Tonto, played by Johnny Depp, in the Lone Ranger movie of 2013.
I wonder how Amber Heard feels about that.
I don't know.
Let's ask her.
Yeah.
Amber Heard, if you're out there.
Amber Heard, on your Puerto Rican island after you fled the United States,
That is
hit
the
us up.
United States. Puerto Rico is the United States.
Yeah, it is.
So basically, yeah.
So, Tonto, people look at him as like, oh, it was racist. If you watch the movie and you don't judge this book by its cover, Tonto is a screwed up individual. Not as a Native American, but just as a person. If you watch the movie, Tonto literally sold his entire family for a pocket watch unintentionally. So, you know, he had two guys come up to him. They were hurt. Tonto takes them in and he helps, you know, revive them. They look at the river and they see silvers in the water and they're like, well, where did this come from? And he's like, I can't tell you. And then they're like, well, here's a pocket watch. It ended up being a really cheap pocket watch worth nothing, but they, you know, knew that this young kid would think, man, it's a good trade. So he tells them where the river begins, where this massive silver mine, a literal mountain made of silver, is. He takes them to it. They look at it like, there's a lot of silver here. We cannot let anyone know about it. And then they kill the entire village of the people that know about it. And Tonto's the only one left. And for the rest of his life, he has to live with this burden that he bestowed on his people, right? And there's a scene where they go into a tent and they meet the Comanche right before they're about to go to a war. And due to there's some, you know, treaties going on that were, you know, fudged by the Mr. Cole, but they said that Tonto's mind is broken because of that situation, of that trauma he had. So Johnny Depp, while Tonto is kind of an idiot, Johnny Depp is not playing this character being like, well, this is how all Indians are.
Now, hold on a second. I do want to mention, I mean, yeah, Johnny Depp playing a Native American is one thing.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think that, like, I haven't seen the movie, so this might be completely wrong. But from the sounds of it, it doesn't sound like necessarily he was a bad person in making that trade, because I don't think he knew.
He didn't know.
He didn't know. I think part of the problem is that it's representing kind of the attitude that the U.S. government might have had towards Native Americans, where it's like, hey, we're going to make this deal on a contract that you can't read to sell away your land.
It's like Nosferatu signing his wife away in a lake.
Christopher Columbus.
I also haven't watched Nosferatu, so
Yeah.
I haven't watched any movies, but
I know someone in the audience is not going to like me saying this, but I didn't think it was that great.
What?
Nosferatu.
All right, moving on to my final point that I had here.
I mean, to have Bill Skarsgård basically play, oh, he's a villain. Oh, guess what? He's a monster again. Oh, guess what? His face looks weird. Yeah, wow, Hollywood, you really got me there.
Third time he's kind of played a monster, technically. Anyway.
I think he's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
He is a good actor, but he's stereotyped at this point.
No, not stereotype, it's typecasted.
Oh, yeah, typecast.
You're close.
Thank you, Jacob.
My fourth and final point that I personally had was a society looking for perfection. As life goes on, society is looking for perfection because we get to the point where the stuff that we wanted, like the stuff that the founding fathers wanted, is getting closer and closer to truth, while it is also getting farther away at the same time because perfection will never be able to be achieved.
When do they want? Wait, what do you mean with
the founding fathers? I mean, like they wanted this like perfect thing, and they wanted it to be safe. They wanted it to be
the country, like to be
the
safe.
country. Yeah, they wanted the country to be run well and safe, and it's getting closer and closer to that. But at the same time, it's getting farther and farther away due to new issues. But society nowadays, because we're getting comfortable, we're looking for perfection, and in the end, nothing will be perfect. And looking back on the past and being like, that's not okay. Like it's not perfect. It never will be perfect. The past is not perfect. A lot of bad stuff happened in the past. And I'm not defending the past, while I am at the same time dwelling on the past and being all negative about it. I mean, how do we learn that this is not good or okay? By learning from our mistakes in the past. So I think looking back on it and having this negative attitude towards it and putting it down, specifically this one, I will die on another hill that this movie's great. This train sequence is incredible.
There's very few things I know about the 2013 Lone Ranger movie, and it being a great film is not one of them.
Exactly. We saw it in the movie for the years 4 times, and that final train sequence. Here's the thing about this movie. I'm kind of going really off track here. About this movie, you watch it, the first hour and a half.
Jamie, pick that up.
Thanks. First hour and a half, you might not like it, all right, but the last 30 minutes is this long, huge train sequence, 2 trains kind of going at each other, kind of like, I don't know how to put it, but like just 2 trains, and then they like get close and they go farther away, and the characters are jumping from cart to cart, and the carts are getting...
How are they getting closer or farther away if they're on track?
It's a Disney movie, and it's Gore Verbinski, so you just gotta believe what's going on. Watch the movie and you'll figure.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like that Volvo ad where like 2 trucks are like separating, and the dude's like doing a split down the middle. Like we just have to believe that, that's just how things roll.
Yeah. Well, because it's a truck, they do roll.
Yeah, they were. They were going backwards too.
Espresso Live by Sabrina Carpenter.
Yeah.
Is that Jacob's new Ukrainian short film? Okay.
Clips here.
Well,
Yes, here we go. Here's a good clip.
now let's pull this up.
What?
Is that the guy from Black Hawk Down?
That is, yeah.
It is?
Forgot. That's Armie Hammer. It's a cannibal.
Old IMDb.
What?
What is Tonto doing?
He's
He's doing.
who's holding up the ladder?
that?
Okay, right.
Johnny Depp is also just playing Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. Yeah, I was about to say he's kind of doing Jack Sparrow things right here.
Yeah. And then Barry Pepper's this guy. He was the sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh, he was?
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where you at? He's coming up in a second.
The only thing I've ever seen him in that wasn't Saving Private Ryan was
There he is.
the later Maze Runner movies.
He's also in
Woo!
what's the Haley Steinfeld movie? And Jeff Bridges. The Coen Brothers movie.
Coen Brothers? True Grit.
True Grit. He's in the True Grit movie. He plays the main bad guy.
Okay.
I'll cut it there. It's.
Yeah, boys, we're kind of running out of budget, so we're gonna need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I could do this forever. I actually might start doing this.
Okay. Well, that's the Lone Ranger, folks.
All right.
Or John Fry.
Basically, Hollywood just needs to start,
It already started. It's
Making
done.
good movies.
making good movies.
If they
would
make
be
good
great.
movies, I think nobody will care anymore. You know what I mean?
Now,
Yeah.
I think one last point that I'm going to make before we wrap this up, which I think is about time to do,
Yeah.
is that part of an explanation for why we have things like this is because culturally and societally, as one point, and technologically, we've advanced at different paces, or cultural advancements will be based off of technological advancements. Now, with the advent of the internet, you see people going on and having complete free reign of anything. And then it wasn't until like Patriot Act in 2001 and things like that where like we're also going over in class, where you have like limitations on free speech starting to happen on the internet for better and for worse. I mean, because let's be honest, it kind of did have to happen a little bit, but also you have like people's morals and their expectations changing, and like the Hays Code being lifted in like the 60s or 50s.
Yeah, 60s, I think.
I don't know. Point being, the style of movies changed, and you have
Jamie, look this up.
A Clockwork Orange.
68.
Told you.
68.
So almost the 70s.
A Clockwork Orange was made like a year later.
Yeah, I was about to say. No.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
But you have culturally, like people are, their mindset and their outlook on life and the world changes at a different rate as we're inventing things, and mostly in a social context. Because I mean, faster transportation is one thing, better infrastructure and social media especially have been something that connected us. Television for radio, then television, then social media, the internet / social media.
Yeah.
I would put the two in actually two separate categories, but that's the reason that these kinds of things happen, because people didn't have like the kind of like equal opportunity to kind of put their thoughts out there on the internet if they wanted to, or on social media. So you have the medium of films being made, and you have the budget to make a Mongolian Genghis Khan epic, but you don't have the, I guess, awareness or the care to put the effort into casting like a big burly Mongolian guy to play Genghis Khan.
So there was a movie at least.
That's good.
2021.
BBC.
We need to have like a 10-part Genghis Khan miniseries
I'd love to see
on
that.
HBO.
I'm writing a paper about Genghis Khan being a controversial figure.
This is okay.
We ended this?
Yeah, let's wrap it.
I think we're done. Also, we would like to thank the sponsor of this video, Honey. It's a free browser extension that saves your money. It takes one click to install, and if we didn't have Honey as a sponsor, we wouldn't be able to afford this set, the production, and Jamie would be,
Cooked.
yeah, he'd be cooked.
I also am legally required to mention Armored Republic, who sent us wonderful plate carriers, E-Vike, who sent optics for our rifles, and Aviator Gear. They sent awesome custom patches, so go check all of them out.
Yep.
Discount code linked in the description, and that's about it.
Discount code the B Team. All right.
Jacob Zdun of Wildcard Productions, Tim Grimm of
Wild Pile,
and then Charlie Morton of P51. Thank you and good night.
Good night.